Remember, as part of his Tax Cuts and Jobs Act from 2017, then President Trump instituted what I only half-jokingly called the blue state payback. And that was a cap on how much families can deduct in state and local taxes, known as SALT, from their federal tax return. Before 2017, it was unlimited. So people in high-tax states like this one could write off some of those costs. But Trump capped that deduction at just $10,000, which, like it or not, was a huge blow and maybe a huge hidden tax hike to those in higher tax areas. But now negotiations are ongoing, and your next guest is hot on the topic. It says the entire deduction should once again be back on the table. Joining us is Congressman Frank Pallone of the great state of New Jersey. And Congressman Pallone, thank you for joining us. And I want to clear something up because when I post stuff about it, bless you, Kelly, a lot of people come out and they say, this is just a tax break for the rich. Yes, it will benefit higher income people. But let's be clear, in a state like New Jersey, where property taxes on average priced homes can be very high, AMT, whatever it may be, this is not just an issue for higher income people, is it?
No, it certainly isn't. And what I hear from most are seniors, retirees, people on fixed incomes that are really suffering. And, you know, I know you said it was a hidden tax increase, but it was a real tax increase for them because all of a sudden, you know, they were paying thousands and sometimes $10,000 more in federal taxes. So it's hurting people that are on fixed incomes, retirees, seniors. Those are the ones that are most concerned and should be.
And there are people that will come at us online as well. And I'm going to represent them, even though I want to be very clear. The Tax Cuts Act of 2017 was a gigantic tax hike for myself and many people that I know. I'm not going to hide that fact. That said, there are people who will say, well, why don't you just, have a state that has better fiscal management and lower taxes? I get the point, Congressman, but it's also kind of not the point, is it? Because you live in an area when you have a tax game that's set up, and if the game or the rules are changed mid-game, it's a different story.
Right, but also keep in mind that the cost of living is higher in New Jersey because we're a densely populated state. Also, New Jersey gets very little money back from the federal government compared to how much they pay. So we're paying a lot more income tax than places like Mississippi or Alabama that get a lot more back than what they pay in. So there's so many reasons why this is unfair. But Brian, the biggest problem that I have is that I think that Trump is backtracking again. In other words, he's the one that caused this from the beginning. Then he came here and said, oh, I'm going to get rid of the SALT cap. And now he's saying, well, maybe we'll raise it a little, but not that much. And so I think he is backtracking. And I don't like this idea that, maybe we'll raise the cap a little to help you a little bit, but not go back to where you were able to deduct the whole thing, which is what was promised during this campaign.